Hi, my name is Ashley Fowler, and I just started taking Richard's Elixir. And I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome when I was 20 years old. I'm 22 right now. And about 2 weeks ago, I was diagnosed with ovarian and cervical cancer. And I was told that I needed a full hysterectomy as well as chemotherapy and radiation. And I felt like that was not the choice for me. And so my husband and I moved from Glenwood to California because I felt like God told me to leave there so that I could go to California to find someone to heal me. And the second day we were out here, we met a gentleman named Richard Brumfield, and he introduced me to his elixir and a lotion and oil, and it has been amazing. It's the only thing that has helped my pain, and I had a severe addiction to Percocet and started taking something called goo, which has THC in it, but it was not what helped me, and it would help with my pain, but it was hard on my stomach and was too much for me. But Richard's oil has helped me so much. I don't know.
Yeah. So you mentioned a goo THC. How long were you on that for?
I was on the goo probably 2.5 months, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. And I noticed that it helped with my pain, but I still wasn't completely relieved because I have severe pain in my pelvis, and when the cysts rupture, it's excruciating. There would be days when I couldn't even get out of bed, and Ian would have to lift me up out of bed and carry me places, and the goo would help, but it didn't take away the pain completely. The elixir, within 7 to 10 minutes, I could feel all the pressure go away, and within a half an hour it was completely gone.
Did you find that your diet changed at all? Like, did you still need to eat as much food while on the elixir?
Well, because I have the celiac disease, it's hard for me to eat anyways, but on the on the goo, it was, I noticed that my eating habits did change in a weird way, and I was sensitive to a lot of other things as well. But on the elixir, I find that I actually don't even have to eat as much at all. That a little bit is more than enough, and my eating habits are actually better. I'm actually craving I want healthier foods, and on the goo, it was not like that at all.
So when you're on the elixir, other than it alleviating the pain and fixing, are there other benefits that you feel, like your skin? Or are you losing weight naturally, or are you seeing better? Are there any other things that you've noticed that are changing?
Yes, especially my hair, because I started to lose...
I'm sorry, can you just incorporate that question into your answer?
Yes, of course. I've also noticed while taking the elixir that it's really helped my hair, because my hair started to fall out, and I have bald spots all over my head, and it was very sensitive there, and it's become a lot softer, and you can actually see that my hair is growing back, and it was completely bald spot, which was awful, and that's helped me a lot as well. It helps a lot with my skin if your skin is very dry, or putting it where I have a lot of tenderness down on my pelvis. That alleviates the pain right away. It's amazing.
And when you first started taking the elixir, were you adverse to the taste of it, or what did you think of the taste when you first started?
The taste, I was a little bit nervous at first because the goo makes your mouth reek of marijuana. And everyone can smell, what's that smell? And with the elixir, it just tastes like pine nuts, like hemp oil does, natural, and not even really a taste, it's just oil.
Do you want me to get into the hidden danger?
Okay.
Hi, so you guys, when did you guys meet?
years ago.
Yeah.
Just had our 3-year anniversary.
And were you already hitting the bong and smoking marijuana when you met?
Yes, sir.
You were?
Have been since I was 12.
Wow. And you, did you always hit the bong? And
I did it in high school, but then I learned to hate it. I was totally against marijuana, medical marijuana.
and so you met a man that smoked it.
I didn't know that at the
Oh.
time, though. I knew that he had quit, but
I had to go sneak it because she didn't like it, and I
he
didn't want
sneaked it.
to lose her over marijuana. I thought that was ridiculous.
Well, maybe it was good that you were sneaking it
Oh, I
because...
wasn't gonna stop.
Well, what happened initially was I was totally against it, and I hated it, and I thought that I thought like people that smoked pot were slackers and like not focused, and the whole like concept of it. But what happened was we were together, and I ended up getting pregnant, and when I was 20, and I actually had a miscarriage / stillbirth when I was in my second trimester, and when that happened, it caused a lot of problems because there was no cause for the baby to die. It just happened, and so they went in and did a DNC after that happened about 3 weeks later, and they found a tumor in my uterus and told me that I was never going to have kids again, and that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome really, really severely, but could never tell me why we lost the baby. And because of the polycystic ovarian syndrome and then the depression following all of that, I got really, really addicted to Percocet. And we lost the baby in September, and then in March, the next March, I had another DNC, a laparoscopy, a hysteroscopy, and then my gallbladder removed because I was having such problems with my eating. I couldn't eat anything, and I was really sick. And so after that surgery, they said, "Hey Ash, you've got really bad PCOS. We suggest you eat this diet," which was all whole grain, whole wheat diet. And I just kept doing that and taking birth control because they wanted me to even out my hormones because they weren't making my hormones correctly.
Didn't work.
And it just made me worse and worse, and I was constantly getting worse, and they couldn't figure out why. And then I forgot to say, part of my other surgery was they removed my left ovary from my intestines because they were attached. And so they said, if you were older, we would completely take your ovaries out. And but we just suggest you do the birth control and Percocet for pain, and consider maybe having your stuff removed. And I was like, I'm too young for this nonsense. Like, this is ridiculous. And so finally I went back to my doctor because I needed more Percocet because I was addicted. I was taking like a 30-day prescription in 3 or 4 days. So I went back after that was like my 4th appointment that week, and he was like, "Ash, I can't write you any more Percocet prescriptions. You're going to kill yourself." He's like, he's like, "How do you feel about medical marijuana?" I was like, "I hate it." And he was like, "Well, that's your last choice unless you want to have them removed." And so I got high and I loved it, and it helped a lot with my depression. It helped my hormones because when you have hormonal imbalances, you're like this all the time and you don't know why, and you're crazy, and he'll attest to that you just have these horrible mood swings and you can't control it, and you get depressed, and then you'll be happy, and then you feel crazy, and then you're crazy, and then you think you're sane, and all of that. The pot helped, and so that's what led me on being my own doctor and finding out what's wrong with myself, because obviously the doctors weren't doing anything about it.